When should kids start lifting weights? Short answer, strength training can be done safely as soon as a child can understand and consistently perform good technique. But in most cases, it probably isn't necessary before around 10 years old. Now let's unpack that. The big concern everyone has is safety, especially in the myth that lifting stunts growth. For lifting to stunt growth, it would need to significantly damage the growth plates. Properly supervised strength training simply doesn't create that kind of force. In fact, most field and court sports expose kids to much higher unpredictable forces than a controlled lifting session. However, don't confuse safe with necessary. The better question is whether it's appropriate and beneficial to start lifting this young. While maturity matters more than the exact age, I generally recommend waiting until around the age of 10. Other forms of training just do a better job at that time. The one exception is if it's a fun family activity. If parents and child are lifting together, say in a garage home setup, and technique comes first, there's nothing wrong with starting younger. Even if my goal though was developing the best athlete possible, I wouldn't have an 8-year-old lift weights. I'd just have them play. They should be doing multiple sports, running around the neighborhood, swimming, biking, jumping on trampolines, and overall just enjoying being active. This helps develop a strong foundation of coordination while being fun. And not everything should be structured either. Let them play street hockey and backyard football with little supervision. This helps teach them to figure things out on their own, which can make them a more creative and well-rounded player. Some structured bodyweight exercises are also great at this age to teach them to move their bodies before moving a barbell. Push-ups, pull-ups, sprints, jumping rope, etc. Basic movements that they can develop physical capacity with. However, I can't stress this enough. At this age, it has to be fun. If a 9-year-old is being forced to do push-ups while the parents are sitting on the couch, that doesn't send a great signal. But just like with lifting, if it's a 30-minute family activity after dinner, now it becomes bonding, it becomes normal, positive, and creates great memories. Because athletic success isn't built over a few months, it's built over years. And kids rarely stick with something for a decade when they hate it as a child. So my recommendation is this. Structured weight training can begin once a child can follow instruction and can repeat consistent technique. For most kids, that's somewhere around 10 years old. Earlier than that, it's not harmful, it's just not necessary. There are better, more scalable, and more fun ways to build an athletic foundation. We are going to go much deeper in how young athletes should train, both body weight and weights, in other videos in this youth development series. If you have specific questions about your child or situation, leave me a comment and I'll respond as soon as I can.